Listen to part of a lecture in an art history class.
Okay, so the development of ballet began in the 1400s during the Italian Renaissance. But the French really contributed to the evolution of the dance form in a major way. This initially took place in the royal courts of France, but later, ballet became a discipline in professional academies in Paris. That's where it pretty much became the style we know today. Okay, so the development of ballet has its roots in the early Renaissance court halls of the Italian royal and noble classes. You see, during this time in the 15th century, Italian dukes maintained their prestige by holding expensive banquets, and they would compete with one another, showing off with the most delicious foods and finest wines. Noblemen in these courts, or courtiers, would provide the entertainment. They would dance around in loosely organized renditions of old Greek and Roman plays. Keep in mind, these courtiers were not professional dancers by any means. In fact, most of the performance was centered on the elaborate costumes they wore and the splendor of the backdrops and props that were set up in the rooms at court. These large billowing outfits and the backgrounds the courtiers danced in front of, these were the main elements of court ballet. The development of ballet really took a turn for the better, if I may say so, when the French started to become acquainted with Italian culture. This had a big impact on the ruling classes in France, and, well, of course, this is where we start to see the French courts beginning to import a lot of Italian culture and art. Court ballet made its way into the French courts in the mid-16th century, when Catherine de Medici, the Queen of France, incidentally related to Italian royalty, she invited an Italian choreographer named Balthazar de Beaujoyeux to join her royal court. Beaujoyeux is known as the father of ballet. He is credited by many with staging the first real ballet. It incorporated music, dance, and narrative into, well, a work of art, I guess. Although Beaujoyeux's ballet was successful and, did much to integrate this dance form into French culture, there was still this reliance on the costumes and scenery. There was no real emphasis on the skills of the dancers, who were still amateur courtiers who seemed only interested in currying the favor of the king and his entourage. Composers like Beaujoyeux still had to depend on the glamour of their sets and the fashion of the dancers to impress the audiences. The next stage of ballet development began with Louis XIV. He was a real ballet enthusiast, someone who, from a young age, often participated in ballets as a dancer. It was not uncommon for rulers to participate in court ballets, and they would play all types of characters, even villains. Louis XIV's passion for court ballet helped raise standards for the art form and increased its popularity. As a result, ballet quickly spread throughout France and neighboring countries. In 1661, Louis XIV founded the first ballet school, l'Académie Royale de Danse. Anyone heard of it? No? Well, it's better known by its English name, the Royal Academy of Dance. With the establishment of a dance school, amateur courtiers began to be replaced by professional dancers, and with this change came a rise in the quality of the dancing elements of ballet. It was during this time that ballet reached the height of its popularity. The establishment of ballet as a profession, really, helped solidify its place as an integral and enduring element in French culture. So even though the French weren't the original inventors of ballet, around the world, French culture is closely associated with this art form. Are there any dancers in here? They can testify to that, right? I mean, ballet dance steps are to this day referred to by their French names.
Now get ready to answer the questions. You may use your notes to help you answer. Number 23. What is the talk mainly about? Number 24. According to the professor, what are two key characteristics of court ballet? Click on two answers. Number 25. Why does the professor mention Catherine de Medici? Number 26. What does the professor say about Balthazar de Beaujoyeux? Listen again to part of the lecture, then answer the question.
In 1661, Louis XIV founded the first ballet school, l'Académie Royale de Danse. Anyone heard of it? No? Well, it's better known by its English name, the Royal Academy of Dance.
Number 27. What can be inferred about the professor? Listen again to part of the lecture, then answer the question.
Well, around the world, French culture is closely associated with this art form. Are there any dancers in here? They can testify to that, right? I mean, ballet dance steps are to this day referred to by their French names.
Number 28. What does the professor imply when he says this?
I mean, ballet dance steps are to this day referred to by their French names.